Now, I am unmuted now.
Oh, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
My webcam's up now. We're all live and everything is good.
Cool.
Shit, I'm still under Apex Legends. Fuck.
Oh no.
God damn it.
It's actually a good job we set this to mature, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, oh no, I'm under Sid Meier's Civilization 6. And I didn't even type out the full title. What is wrong with me? Episode 3,000,006. And podcast.
Okay, didn't share.
There we go. Cool.
I've just shared my link in the Discord because part of the I've been saying that I will promote things first in there to give people some sort of incentive to join.
Nice.
Oh yeah, shit. Boop.
Nice.
Oh yeah, shit.
Um,
Sorry, my stream, you can hear me twice because I'm testing my audio.
That's cool.
Sorry, my stream, you can hear me twice because I'm testing my audio.
That's cool.
Sorry, my stream, you can hear me twice because... Alright, cool. Cool. Boom, done. Right, yeah, podcast, we're live. Cool.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Cool. Good. Nice.
Cool. That's cool if you're
GG.
cool.
post on Instagram.
Yeah, GG, well
Oh,
done.
that's cool. Yeah, whatever.
That's the podcast. Cool.
Can we-
Thanks. We'll see you next
we-
week.
Can we do toxic women today?
What?
Can we start the podcast off with talking about toxic women?
Toxic women. Okay, yeah. What about toxic women?
Oh, I feel like we should start it nicely and then go into it. I just thought I'd throw that out.
No,
there.
come on. You've said toxic women. Now I'm intrigued.
Right.
What's toxic women?
So I have this whole thing where I'm like, I like the term feminazis, so as opposed to like feminists. Do you know what I mean? And I often compare that to like radicalist Christians because there are a couple of them that just spoil the bunch. Do you know what I mean?
1 second. Sorry, I can hear you again.
Yeah, like the TERFs.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
I can
like-
hear Millie twice. Whose
Same.
audio is doing that?
So can I. Does anybody have Twitch open on their computer?
I do, but I have headphones in, and I'm not on Millie's stream.
No, I don't. I don't know what you're on about.
Was that you?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I
Okay.
forget every time.
Right, I've
I was
posted
confused as well. I was
on-
looking at all of my audios and I was like, "What's going on here?"
Okay, right.
Like-
No, sorry. Go on. What? Like, so
I
feminazis, TERFs, shit.
I hate
Yeah.
that people justify slashing on feminism because of these people,
Yeah,
and I feel like a lot of the time, like the kind of feminist I am, I'm like, I love my men. I love men. They are sweet. We need to protect them. They are babies. They're just like a little misled sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the whole idea of feminism is equal opportunity. We're not trying to take away anyone's rights. We're trying to like get some of the same. Do you know what I mean? That's so good.
Yeah, I think this is the thing is like the feminazis, you know, for want of a better word, I guess. Actually, no, fuck them. They aren't feminism. That's the thing. Is like they aren't being
like,
feminists.
they're just.
But unfortunately, they do give feminism a bad name because people often associate them because they make their claims under the stake of we are feminists when actually they're just cunts.
When they're not feminists, they're just everybody who isn't them.
No, exactly. I think they're so
But,
small-minded.
they're against anyone who isn't them.
Exactly.
Yeah, like TERFs are a very big part of that as well. I think in the trans community.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people, when they think feminists, they do think TERFs, and that's not the case. And I think everybody who is a feminist, like an actual feminist, not a pretend feminist like a TERF is, needs to be more vocal about what feminism actually is. Because when I was like learning what feminism was, I thought the extreme feminists who want to take away men's rights, which isn't
I think
right.
it's another way to keep men in that sort of hate mind frame. If you know what I mean, it's the whole patriarchy. That's what keeps the patriarchy fueled. Is shit like this.
Yeah. Because then you get men hating women because they're just these women who are hating men. And I understand like the reasoning behind hating a lot of men. Like, I hate a lot of men.
Yeah.
But what I really hate is toxic masculinity. Like, that it's easier. Like, I hate men just rolls off the tongue more.
I say it 5 times before I go to sleep. But the thing is, I used to know a guy actually who the sad thing is, it's the label of feminist that's got the toxicity, not the values. It's like he had feminist values, but the thing is, if he had said he was a feminist, he'd get roasted by the boys. Do you know what I mean? So he was like, no, I'm not a feminist. Then he'd see what the feminists were doing and be like, I gotta not be like them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to not be what people are labeling me because I see that as someone who is embarrassing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think it just needs to be normalized. Like, sorry, I'm just logging into Twitch on my phone because I realised I can do that.
What do you think needs to be normalized? Sorry.
Just feminism in general just needs to be normalized. Like, it needs to be the norm.
And it needs to be clearly defined
have to be
as
thing.
Separate from these people that are doing things in the name of feminism that aren't necessarily feminism.
Yeah.
Because it can lead to some really fucked up things. Like, to talk a bit about my personal life, I don't want to go too deep into it, but my mother always raised me on the values of men are shitty. And that is good because I can agree with that to an extent because I have met a lot of shitty men. But it also made me really, really doubt my identity because I was simultaneously being told that I am a man and also being told that that's something that is a bad thing and that I should be ashamed of. And I think it's less about telling your young boys that they should hate men because that can lead to them hating themselves or having an identity crisis, and more about teaching them to become the men you want to see in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And like the women should be respected and listened to, and when they say no, it means no. Stop chasing women until they like you. Like, a lot of little boys are told
real predatory stuff,
that, man. If someone doesn't want to play with you, then you keep on asking and you keep on asking until they play with you. You should teach the child that if they say they don't want to play with you, they don't want to play with you.
But Casper, sorry, I don't mean to I don't want to know if I have to set a boundary, but obviously having a female upbringing, did you ever have like the whole complex of like, if a boy pulls your hair, it means he likes you?
Oh yeah.
Did you have that as well? Because I literally that whole from day one that I didn't.
In reality, that's really not the case. People are picking on you, and you need to be able to stand up for yourself and go and speak to a teacher about it. Instead of having a thought in the back of your head that's like, oh, it's okay. It just means that he likes me. Like, that's not what it means. And if, you also need to teach your boys that if you like a girl or you like someone, draw them a nice picture. Don't be mean to them.
Do something nice for them.
Do something nice to them. Hold the door open for them. Offer to carry them.
I think it's an ego thing, though. I feel like it's an ego
thing. I just want to interject here and say, being raised as a man, well, I wasn't necessarily taught this by my parents, but I was definitely taught this when I went to high school and by the people around me, was the opposite end of that. You were taught that if a guy pulls your hair, that means that he likes you. On the other end, we're taught that if you're mean to a girl, they will like you.
Keeping
when in reality, if you're mean to a girl, you'll just get a punch in the face.
If you're mean to a girl, you're actually just a dickhead. But
you're talking to the wrong person, because I knit red flags and make blankets for us to sleep in like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm the biggest hypocrite. But the thing is, I've always said I've got two types, right?
Right.
Girls who look like me or what I want to look like, and dudes who don't like me. And when I say that, I don't mean dudes who don't like me, because like I just gotta have that sharp punchline, do you know what I mean? What I mean is, like, I hate the whole concept of like, oh, you're too good for me. I'm like, cool, go then. If you're gonna add nothing to this relationship, just go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hate the whole, oh, like, you're so much like, you're gorgeous, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I can't do it, man. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's like, fuck, what was the original point?
I've totally forgotten what your original point was, but continue.
We went from toxic femininity to liking and disliking during growing up, if that helps.
I've just realised that one of my t-shirts...
Boys who don't like me, sorry.
Right, yeah.
Complete mind fart. Boys who don't like me. Yeah, no, I feel like, just roast me a little. Do you know what I mean? I just rip into me. Like, I need that sort of comfortability. Like, the whole thing of like, I'm not a gold digger, but if some dude thinks that, if I ever had money, do you know what I mean? Like, if some dude thinks he's going to come in and add nothing else to the relationship, like, if they don't add money, that's fine. Do you know what I mean? We've all been broke, we've all been there. We've all, like, a lot of us, majority of us have struggled. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not object to sort of supporting someone like that, but if they were then a scrub and rude and messy and didn't, like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, what are you adding? Do you know what I mean? That's a child. If you want a child, have a child, but don't bring some man bathing in who expects you to wash his underwear. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
I've
just found another story that for some reason is bold and very large on the text document now.
I need to go grab a lighter really quickly. I'll be 2 seconds.
No.
Okay, I'm trying to work out how to make this text normal size.
Wow.
There we go. Right, it's just highlighted in black.
Okay. Well, Millie had made a point, and now she's gone,
and then
so we can't
walked away straight after making the point. So, and I'm not sure how we can add to that. But
let's just try and keep it going until she gets back. Do. I never expect any of my partners to look after me or anything like that, and it's always nice when you both add something. Like, I love it when you do, like, Casper, you do nice things for me, like you bring me snacks and stuff from the shop, and I'm like, wow, this is great. But I've never really expected anyone to do anything for me, and it really sucks when you see people, especially people who are better than the relationship they're in. Like, they can be in such a nicer place, but they're just doting on and serving this person. Casper, if you want to stop highlighting in black, you can.
And it's usually women who get stuck in looking after some man-child.
Oh, well, it's the whole idea of, like, fixer-uppers, aren't they?
Like,
yeah, I find that so toxic. Like, that you shouldn't be in a... No one is no one's your project. Like, but both sides of that are wrong, because either if you are the quote-unquote project of the relationship, then you just have toxic traits that's brought in the quote-unquote fixer into the relationship, whose problem then is that they're treating that person as a project. So you both lose.
But then, can we then normalise, like, growth? Because I will put my hands up and say I have been that person before, when I haven't realised that I've been the one that's been taking all of that energy from the other person. And I messed it up. I messed a lot of things up. I've made amends in the last sort of year or so. But, like, it's a whole growth development thing. And I think we need to normalise as well learning. Because I know there's a lot of people who, like, especially with the group, right, where people sort of attack people for not knowing. And I get with basic things, it's like it's taking the piss, do you know what I mean? But with things, and like, them go to Google, blah, 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 blah. But like, word of mouth is like a beautiful thing.
Sorry, are you talking about the group we both moderate?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you mean. Like, there is definitely space for people to grow, and there always is. And like, I will always give someone the benefit of the doubt if they say they're going to change the first time, but after the first time you're taking the piss. If you haven't learned your lesson from that time, I'm not going to bother, and I'm not going to accept your apology. I'm not going to say it's okay. I'm not going to give you room in my life to grow that, because I don't want you in it anymore.
Yeah,
you know,
it.
like
it's a good mentality to have, though.
I can't be dealing with that.
Like, I've only just recently cut out, like, started doing stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm the kind of person where I'd say, like, once is an accident, twice is a habit, is what I used to say when I was, like, talking to my girls. Like, oh, I've just turned my old... There you go. Talking to my girls and stuff. But I will give people chances after chances after chances. And it's only recently, actually, I think, with everything going on lately, I think people have had to learn to deal with loss. And not loss as in, like, lives, but also, like, financially, but also, like, socially as well. Because it's put so much strain in the last year. It's, like, almost impossible to expect things to be as they were.
Especially like, the influence. This is a bit of a tangent here, but, like, the influence of... because Casper was saying last time that he heard a story of... because we had a conversation about QAnon, I think, in the last podcast, or it might have been just before the podcast, I'm not too sure. But Casper had heard a story of a couple who broke up because of the QAnon stuff, and they were in 25 years of relationship. And I think these massive divides over whether or not vaccines are good, whether or not Trump was right, whether or not, you know, blah, blah, blah. All of these divides that have really, really been driven home over the past year have really impacted everyone's ability to love the people they're still with or were with, to make new friends, form new relationships, and see their current friends, etc. And it's really fucked. Yeah, go on.
Do you know what's a cool little fact, but, like, also quite depressing? Is if you type into Google how many days since, the most top search is how many days since, and it's since March 24th or 5th, the first day of the lockdown. That's the most Google searched, how many days since, and I think it's like, let me Google it. I only have to type half of it. How many days since March 23rd?
Yeah, it is. It's the first thing that's come up.
324 days.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be 2 weeks, promise.
Yeah, 2 weeks. That's a big difference between
Do you know what this is like?
that number of 14 days.
This is like when you say to your mum you're going to be home by 10, and then you rock up at 6 a.m. and you're like, yo, I can explain. Do you know what I mean?
That's the equivalent of what our government is doing right now.
That's what Boris is doing. He needs to pack it in, or I'm just going to lock him out, mate. We need to lock him out. That's it.
Yeah, you need to move out, Boris.
Yeah, innit? It's flee the nest, darling. I'm ready. We're all ready.
So, in the topic of vaccinations, because that's an easy segue to do, I just read just before we started that the travel industry is really angry about the fact that people have been banned until, well, health figures and stuff are... Oh, Casper's gone. Well, we'll just carry on. I think he'll be back in a second. I guess his PC just crashed. But, like, travel industry are really angry and being really obnoxious about the fact that the health figures are basically saying no more travel until everyone's vaccinated. And it's like, how fucking selfish and obnoxious do you have to be to think that your industry is more important than people's lives? Exactly. And this is such a massive problem.
It's a mindset. It's a business mindset.
It's a capitalist mindset of money comes first, always, before everything. And I understand that money can affect people's lives, but honestly, it shouldn't. And that's part of the reason. Like, if you use the argument like, oh, these businesses employ people and that's why they need to survive, etc., maybe you should be using the argument of why people need to be able to survive, need a job in order to survive in the world we currently live in. There isn't a reason for that. And actually, if you took the money that you wasted giving these entitled, obnoxious dickheads what they want, and you took that money and you actually made it so that everybody has some kind of safety net throughout their entire life, then you would have people who are more happy to work, who are more willing to work, and who actually want to support these industries in the first place.
Definitely.
yeah, sorry, that was a bit of a rant.
Yeah,
I just saw that headline and I was like, oh, well, I'm angry now. Thank you. Thanks for that. I've got something to rant about in my podcast.
The worst thing is, though, I won't call them out, right? But there was someone who, after all this stuff came out about vaccinations for corona, they sent me this fucking link saying, this person I've known like my entire life sent me this link saying those with severe nut allergies may have bad reactions to coronavirus vaccine. And I was like, babe, I'm not allergic to nuts. Like, I've never been allergic to nuts. And they were like, well, you can develop an allergy at any time, Millie. And I was like, what?
What are you on about? What?
Just trying to like scare me into not getting the vaccine. And I was like, I'm not allergic to nuts at all in any way, shape, or form. Like, what the fuck?
And also, no, like, yeah, I'm sure, like, if that is a thing, then there will be scientists going, hey, this is a thing. Have you ever seen that video? I don't think I've watched it, but I see it come up in my recommended. Oh, Casper's PC is broken and won't turn back on. I might go get him in 1 second. I'm just going to finish my point. And he can sit in here and he can do the podcast from my
how many viewers have I got? I've got one viewer anyway, so.
But yes, did you ever see that video that was just like actually, Casper, if you're watching my stream, come down and you can do the podcast from my computer as well. That video that was just like trying to find a single scientist at an anti-vaccine protest.
Yeah.
Have you ever, like, you must have at least seen that pop up in your recommended. Yeah, and I just think that that's so fucking brilliant, because there isn't a single scientist in any of these groups that are saying, yes, this vaccine is bad for you. And it's kind of like, well,
there's people that call themselves scientists, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I did A-level again applied science as well, mate. Like, what? But they will call themselves scientists.
Casper's telling me in chat some vaccines have been suspended because of peanut oil. So that's potentially a thing. But it sounds to me like the article that you got sent just looked at that small piece of information, jumped on it, and was just like, all people, everyone with a nut allergy, bad. Everyone's going to die.
Any kind of allergy ever. Like, if you have an allergy, just die right now, because there's no chance.
Yeah, apparently. Right, would you be so kind as to just keep the stream going for a minute whilst I go get
Casper? What do I do, right?
Just talk about you're creative, you're energetic. Come up with something. You can talk. You can chat shit for like 5 minutes. I know you. See you in a second.
Okay. Do I even have any viewers? I've got one viewer. I'm pretty sure it's a pity viewer. What? Okay, I don't know what's going on. I've been abandoned. Quite frankly, not surprised. Yeah. Oh, also, yeah, no. Guess who's in my reflection? Who is that? Anyone who could point that out? You have, like, your whole life to do it. But tell me who that is. Can you see him? Like, right here. Yeah, no. Tell me who that is. Just little things. My one viewer. Is it a pity viewer? Perhaps. Am I surprised? Not even a little bit. Hello? Oh, I'm spooked. The show Superstore on Netflix is actually fucking banging. It's about like retail and like customer service, and anyone who's worked in customer service should find it hilarious. If you don't, message me directly. We will throw hands, and I will win, and it'll be glorious. And that's it. I think they're back. I can hear doors. Hello? Hello? Help! One of those, like. Leonardo DiCaprio. But also, what's his name? What's his fucking name? Lost City of Atlantis. What was his name?
Hello.
Hey.
Oh shit, I can't hear you. I brought my headphone splitter.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, will that work?
It might work.
It should work.
I'm not too sure about
also,
if it'll work with this. Sorry, Millie, give us a second. We're just trying to put headphones on.
That's fine.
Right, plug yours into that.
It's a bit of a dodgy shape.
Milo from Lost City of Atlantis.
Right, I can hear out of this.
Right.
Oh.
Do you want to take a seat there and I'll...
I can't.
Oh, yeah, you can't really, can you? Do you want to swap? You take a seat over
yeah,
there.
that will be easier.
It's a dodgy wire, so sometimes you have to fuck with it in order to
Hello.
get it to work.
Hi.
Yeah, it's working. What happened to the other pair of these?
There's somewhere else, but the wire's dodgy. It's not the headphones.
I've realised that I look like
Don't do that,
Milo
man.
of the Lost
Do it
City
in
of
a minute.
Atlantis.
Right. Okay.
Wait, I can't hear you. Speak again.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, wagwan.
There we go.
Right. Okay.
Hey.
Cool. Podcast. It's a disaster as always, but it's fine.
My
It would only
computer has
have
just
to be
decided to
bad.
break, like full on break. So I don't know what to do with that. I
Yeah, that's real fucked.
don't know why it's doing it.
Oh. Right. What were we talking about? The last note I had down here was me ranting about capitalism. What did you chat shit about for 5 minutes while someone's gone?
I realised that I look like Leonardo DiCaprio, but also Milo from Lost City of Atlantis.
That is true. I can see both of
I've
these.
never seen The Lost City of Atlantis.
Have you
What?
not? It's a great film.
Casper,
Oh.
get out. See yourself out,
Leave
mate.
my
See
podcast.
yourself out. See yourself out, fam.
Wow. But yeah, okay. What an interesting topic of conversation.
Yeah, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I'll have some improv written for next time.
If it's not improv, if you write it down, mate, that's
Well, like
pre-prepared.
a basic like rundown. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Thank you.
So yeah. So yeah, we had an interesting conversation about vaccines and how fucking wank that whole thing is.
Yeah.
Vaccine. Sorry, I'm
Should we
making
start,
notes.
should we start on a new topic?
Yeah, as
As
like,
well. Do you know what I mean? I started the last one. It's one of you two can start it.
yeah, that one's done.
The Sonic 2 trailer came out today, which I'm quite excited about.
Yeah.
And I think Sonic as a whole is a great example of what happens when the film industry actually listens to its fans. Because they went back and designed and redesigned pretty much an entire movie because the fans said, no, that's not,
exactly.
that's not what we want. And it got an amazing reception, and it was a very enjoyable film. I've watched it multiple times.
Yeah.
Have you?
And yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
And I'm quite excited for the second one because in the trailer, the logo for the second movie is like the logo for the second game, which
Nice.
which is a really small Easter egg, but it shows they're thinking of the fans and the people who actually play the games or played the games growing up.
Yeah.
And it's not often that a movie that is family friendly thinks of the fans, with Detective Pikachu. They fucked that up.
Oh, that's
because-
miserable film.
Because
Never
they
before
didn't.
have I fallen asleep in a cinema.
Yeah,
But that was my
Never.
first
But,
falling asleep in a cinema. It was
but,
so bad, man.
and that went so wrong because they didn't listen to the fans. They didn't. They didn't think of the people who played the games growing up.
Yeah.
And they killed Pokemon as a franchise for me anyway, and I'm a lifelong Pokemon fan.
I still watch Pokemon. I still love Pokemon. I'm quite partial to Pokemon, not gonna lie. Digimon, leave me alone. But Pokemon, yeah, I'll get on board with that.
I used to like them both, but the Sonic movie does it really well. Like they actually listen to the fans, and with the little reach to the second game, it's like it shows that like I don't know, it's just a nice little thing that companies don't often think about.
Yeah, like I personally, I wouldn't watch the first one again. Like I didn't think it was as bad as some movies like that, like Detective Pikachu, for example. Like it wasn't by any stretch a terrible film, and I do understand. I do like respect the fact that it wasn't really made for me in mind. Like I'm not the target demographic for that film.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it again. I would happily watch the second one though. And my main respect for it comes from the fact that they released a trailer and the fans were just like, no. just no, this is not okay. You cannot do this to Sonic. And they were like, okay, yeah, we won't do this to Sonic. And they worked incredibly hard and changed the entire film just because of the fans. And I think that's just amazing.
Admirable.
Yeah.
And it's just really sweet. They're just really nice. And I thought it was an idea to speak about because it just makes me happy.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I will be watching the second one. I think
it comes out on April the 22nd.
I did want to know what happens. Like I thought, it's Jim Carrey. Is it Carrey or Curry?
Carrey, I think.
Carrey.
Is it?
Jim Carrey. Yeah, I think you're right there. Jim Carrey's performance in that pretty much made that movie for me. Like I don't think I said like it's not a bad movie. It would have been a bad movie for me anyway if Jim Carrey wasn't in it. I think he really made that film.
Watched it, yeah.
Oh, have you not seen it? Well, it's a sweet film.
I just never got round to it. I never got round to it. I wanted to, but then just I came so busy, I just forgot about it. I'm not even gonna lie.
I think we went for Valentine's Day, didn't we?
Did we? Right. I can't. No, wait.
It was released on Valentine's Day. I'm sure we went.
Yeah, I think so. We went to see Detective Pikachu with Tom.
Yeah.
And that was like it was nice to see Tom. But I really wish we'd gone to see something else.
Jesus Christ. I miss cinemas.
So
me too, man.
Climactic. I do, man. I miss those nasty hot dogs.
Yeah,
I miss the £12 for a popcorn.
Yes, I never got popcorn.
Yeah. The only thing I don't miss about cinemas is people on their fucking phones.
And people who talk and kids at cinemas. Like when we went to see The Lion King, there was this family next to us and they were talking all the way through it. And like I get that it's a family movie.
Yeah.
And
but come on,
like
man.
families are going to see it, but speak to your children before you go in, and you explain to them the etiquette of cinemas. Like,
So we were always really good in considering how many of us there were. I could fact check that because I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure we were always tidy. Like the thing is, people are like, oh, you don't understand having kids, and it's just like if you can't get them to behave at a cinema, you can't get them to behave anywhere. Why are you taking them out to the cinema?
Yeah,
do you know
exactly.
what I mean? But I know there's exceptions. So, for example, like if they've got like autism or whatever, like I know there are reasons, and a lot of the time I try not to judge too hard because you never know what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be like ADHD. You don't know. Do you know what I mean? But like it is annoying. I will give you that. It is just. City cinemas, man. City cinemas. They are.
Oh, yeah. I do kind of miss watching the chavs pile in.
Yeah.
Because they were always they were always quite funny. Like, I don't like chavs. I actually have quite a furious passion against them. But I love watching them. You know, they're fantastic to people watch. Because they come out with some of the stupidest, fucking funniest lines ever. And I just think it's I think they're hilarious, honestly.
And I'd just love to be in a cinema but like in front of someone that's talking all the way through now. Like I wouldn't even mind.
For it. like less than 2 meters apart, sat near someone who's
Do you know what
chatting shit about the film.
I kind of like that people can't come near me on buses. Now.
I do like that. I'm not gonna lie, I do.
I like that.
Alone in shops.
Definitely.
Yeah, and like you can wear a mask, so like no one, like when you're having a bad day, you don't get some cunt walk up to you and be like, "Smile, it can't be all that bad." When you feel like it's all that bad, and you just want to deck them.
But the thing is, like insecurity-wise, if I wear a flat cap with my glasses, with a mask, you can't see my face, and sometimes I'm like, that's what I need.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I love that. Like, I don't even have to pretend to be happy when I go outside anymore.
Oh,
it's fantastic.
Bruv, I don't want to get deep, but like I had a message one time when I was out in town, and it was like a horrible message, and I was in a mask, crying dead ass. I was like, this is great. This is great. I could just fucking no one looks at you anymore, and I love that. People just avoid you, and I hate that in a way. I want it to be selective, so I think they should make it illegal to sit next to me on the bus. But I want to go pick up some things in the club. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I want to go out, and I do want to see friends, and like we started a D&D group online during the pandemic, and I want to meet. I want to meet them. They're all really lovely. We've had a great time, and I want to actually go do our D&D campaign like you're supposed to, with a fucking table between you. Like we use Roll20.
The old I used to use that with Tom actually.
Yeah, we use Roll20, and I know Tom uses it, and I love it. I think it's an excellent program, but I do want to see these people because it's just so much fun.
And it's just not the same. And I've met 2 people from the LGBT society at uni, which I know is a small thing.
Yeah, but it's a lot sometimes.
Isn't it 3? Isn't it 3? Because I don't want to name names first live, but there's the person we might be moving in with, and the person who makes films.
Like, they all make films.
Yeah, but like the person who's made like a bunch of short films already.
That's 2.
Yeah, and then
is one of them in the LGBT community?
Oh, right. Okay, no, they both are. They both are.
And we just want to meet in person and like, I don't know, do an in-person meeting. I wonder what that will be like.
Oh, do you know what I crave? Is a packed bar and being behind the bar, fucking piling out that adrenaline, man, and that sort of pace and that mindset. I miss it. It's like hyper focus.
I can't say I miss that. Like I never stopped doing that because of coronavirus. I stopped doing it because of the amount of times I got fired from working bar jobs. I'm just not very good. But behind a bar, like I suppose I did join at a time where I was incredibly socially anxious because I joined working bars when I was like a really anxious teenager.
Same though. To be fair, I feel like it helped me though.
But it didn't help me. It made things worse for me. It really sent things the opposite way because not only was I having a lot of anxiety whilst I was at work, the work was making me feel worse because you know what drunk people are like. They have absolutely zero tolerance for anyone who's anxious or can't catch their eye or can't provide a conversation because they're too fucking inside
themselves. They're drunk. That's because they're already dickheads. But dickheads really flock to pubs.
I say like people tend to do things whilst drunk that they wouldn't necessarily do whilst they were sober.
No, innit? And if you've ever been into a girl's bathroom while you're drunk, it's so wholesome. I need that. I think that's why I'm
people are so friendly. I miss all of the girls I met in the toilets and clubs when I was female. Like, I wonder how they're doing. I hope they're well.
I hope Tiffany can go back to her ex. Do you know what
I mean? And I just hope they're happy. Like, they're so wholesome. I'm still friends with a few of them on Facebook.
Whereas in male bathrooms, you kind of try not to catch anybody's eye and get out of there as quickly as you possibly can.
You clubs around.
Whilst you hear someone snorting something in the cubicle next to you. Yeah, it's not great.
Imagine doing a line and just hearing splashback though. I can't.
You just try to leave as quickly as possible.
I don't understand that. I could never do that. I'm a classy bitch. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm cringing just talking about this. Honestly,
like it's just. It's just like drug culture. Like thinking back on it, like especially now, like imagine being that close to a toilet seat with your face. Like
were you ever comfortable with like being face to face with a bog roll? Like,
no, honestly, I can't say I was or have been.
Sometimes it's a blessing when you're really drunk and you're throwing up and you're like, oh, God bless, and you're like, let me just climb on in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I don't drink anymore.
I've
never actually thrown up from being drunk.
I have twice, and it's enough.
Not
to
that
make
I
me
remember.
never wanna drink again.
To be fair, like I have had blackout drunk moments, so that might have happened. But as far as I can remember, I've never thrown up whilst not sober.
As far as you can remember.
Yeah, as far as I can remember.
I left my biscuits upstairs.
I can't force myself to be sick though. That's the thing. Is if I shove my fingers in my mouth, nothing happens.
Oh, yeah.
So there's just wet slaps in the back of my throat whilst I'm bent over a cubicle. Some girl was holding my hair, and like I'm just there, like hand in my mouth, and nothing's happening. But sometimes I will get so drunk that it just comes out. It's just, I think it's a whole different kind of drunk. When I'm trying to throw up, that's when I'm like, I know I'm fucked, and now I'm scared because I know I won't make it home. Whereas the other drunk's just like, I have no acknowledgement of the world around me. I'm going to do whatever I want, go wherever I please, and speak to whomever I choose. Do you know what I mean? Like, no stop.
Like, that's nice.
Yeah, talking of women being lovely towards each other, Jojo Siwa has had a girlfriend reveal, which I just think is so lovely, man.
Yes.
And her Instagram at the moment is so sweet. Like all of the comments on the post about her introducing her girlfriend to her fans, because they've been friends for years apparently, but they've only been in a relationship for a month.
Oh.
And on that post,
good luck to them.
All of the comments are really, really sweet and supportive and wholesome, and what the world needs right now, because it's not a very happy place. Everybody's really worried about the pandemic. Yeah. Like, it's just really nice scrolling through Instagram and seeing loads of parents supportive of her, and
I feel like
girls
at the moment, like, you know, it's setting aside the reveal of her sexuality and everything like that and her girlfriend, the world just needs Jojo Siwa right now.
Yeah.
She's such a positive icon for this sort of happy, bubbly persona. You can't look at an interview with that girl and be sad. You know?
The thing is, I've never watched any of the show or anything because I saw a video snippet of it because I was like, what is this new? I wanted to see what New Disney was like. Yeah. And it must have been just a clip of her being over the top because it just cringed me out. And I was like, no, I cannot do with that much.
I get that. Because
she's sort of like grown up and mellowed out and become more real.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
Like that reverse glow up TikTok she did, which I think I spoke about this last podcast we did, but I think that's just such a perfect way to express yourself and show especially your young audience that like these things, like there's a person underneath the whole thing, like that it's a persona, and you can still be happy with all of these different sides of yourselves. Like you can go out and you can be this queen with like all this makeup and the looks and the stage and everything, all this like brilliant stuff, and then you can go home, you can take all the makeup off, and you can just be this happy girl in a t-shirt, and both of those things are great, and both of those things are fine, and I just think she's just such a good role model for especially young women to have right now. I think
she really
incredible.
I agree. I think since watching her interview, I feel like I definitely noticed the change, and that's why I became more interested in her. I looked at a bit of like research into like who she was.
Like, I mean, we've all done cringy stuff. Like, I bet, like, the show you were talking about, I don't know when she did that.
I think she would have been about 14.
But we've all done so much cringy things. But can you say that any of the cringy stuff that you did when you were 14, 15, 16 got you a metric shit ton of money? Like, I bet, like, she'll watch it and she'll cringe, but she will have no regrets. And you've got to just embrace the cringe, man, because just embrace the cringe, dude.
Listen, I was doing no one famous. I was doing no one favors by wearing a bright blue SpongeBob skirt with bright pink hair. Tom's watching. He's on my stream with Bailey.
Oh, hey Tom, how are you doing?
Wagwan. So we've got to be nice about him now.
Oh yeah, we'll be nice. We'll be nice about him now.
Yeah, I love Tom, lovely guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, which Tom now?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just really glad that that's a thing, and I'm really hopeful for the future. Like
Yeah,
seeing JoJo Siwa being out and being herself and being so happy with that. Setting aside like the swatting and people being cunts about that, like I think it's just been such a positive outlook. And I watched a video by a woman called Rowan Ellis, who did make the point that JoJo Siwa is quite a quote unquote safe icon for conservative families.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because she doesn't. None of her stuff is about drinking or drugs or sex or anything like that.
yeah.
Like she's got all of that down. She's a happy, positive model, and I think that's great because I'm hoping that like in these I think that's right, and I'm hoping that in these conservative families
Yeah.
that there are children who feel more like they can be out in the
Themselves.
world and be more
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine being a conservative family does you many favors for being gay.
Yeah.
This is obviously me not being in a conservative family, so I can only say something from
No,
what I've
I knew-
experienced. But you know,
I'm on the topic of like wholesome people and like people who inspire us. I reconnected with a friend recently that I knew from university, and they came out as non-binary a couple of years ago, and sort of uses they them pronouns.
yeah,
As well as another friend recently who also came out to me as well, and they've been such an inspiration for like confidence. They've got like a TikTok account, and back when I first met them, they were so timid and so shy, like wouldn't say boo to a goose kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now they're rocking their shit on fucking TikTok and like fucking so confident and so overwhelmingly like kind of inspirational in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like definitely in a way and in a valid way. I feel like because I feel like the friends that the people you choose to have around you, I think you become what you surround yourself with. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I think kids these days need to look at like role models like that and who they choose to surround themselves with and what kind of things they're like getting into. Do you know what I mean? And I do agree completely that like she is a wholesome role model. And I think as much as I'm all for empowering, like, you know what, like I don't want it to be any topic, and I think that like exposure to an extent at a right age is good, but I feel like there's not every teenager is like drinking drugs and alcohol. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of thing I'm used to because of who I surround myself with and who like the kind of thing I thought I wanted to become. But part of me, like if I compare myself to my little sister, like the influences I had compared to the influences she should have now, being like the sort of positive vibes and wholesome and being kind and stuff. And I don't, as far as I know, I could be surprised, but I would be very surprised if she was into any of that kind of stuff because she is such a wholesome person. It's so nice to see because like I always take the underdog. I always take the sort of, I connect with people who have struggled and people who tend to have done things like that. And I don't know why, maybe just because I'm like familiar with, do you know what I mean? But it's so nice to look at the fact that there are still some kids out there who are doing okay. The kids are doing okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's nice to see actually.
All right.
And it's just so lovely. Nice. And yeah, we need more people like JoJo in the world.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and just more of these people. I am seeing it a lot, especially with musicians, with artists, just all these people, because like there is now no fear for the celebrity to come out. Like back in the day, I'm sure that if you started off as being perceived straight and then you became a celebrity and everyone thought you were straight and then you came out as gay or something, you would lose business, you would lose your career.
There would be a whole controversy.
There would be a whole thing. Whereas JoJo Siwa can just come out and obviously aside from the swatting thing, which is just some person being shitty, it's just been widely accepted and that's just a thing. She can come out and she has come out. I will say though, like there are obviously a lot of people who aren't in that situation, but my hope is the fact that because it's so safe for people who are so popular to just come out and have no fear of losing their career or whatever, it can lead us to a world where everybody feels safe to come out and not have any repercussions and realize that there isn't anything wrong with it and there's nothing. Obviously, I have made videos about this on my YouTube channel before where I have stated always wait until you are safe. If there is any doubt, like if someone is watching this back or if someone is watching this right now, do not be afraid to be yourself. But if there is any doubt as to your safety, wait, get out of the situation you're currently in, and then be who you are. It sucks, and I know it can be really hard to say that. But if there's any danger to your safety, that takes priority, and you just know that you will always find your people no matter where you go.
No, exactly. No, definitely. And do you know what I've realised as well?
Yeah.
That Jojo Siwa is lawful good, but Lady Gaga is chaotic good.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
she has a new album. I think she has a new album at the moment.
I think Katy Perry is
Lady
neutral
Gaga.
good.
But I've not listened to Lady Gaga's new album.
No.
But I probably will do because I used to be a massive Lady Gaga fan. Just before I came out as trans, when I identified as a lesbian. I don't know whether that's got anything to do with it. But
maybe I was born this way.
I went to see her once when she did the Art Pop tour, and it was like £160 a ticket. I think it was ridiculous, but it was really good. It was like a full stage show. Like she had so many outfits and so many backing dancers. It was it was more like a theatre show than a gig. So it was worth the money, and I probably would and might pay again. Because she's really good, and she has Oreos out at the moment in America, which are bright pink and bright green.
What? Sorry.
They're vanilla flavoured.
I feel like I've just zoned out for a second and come back on an entirely different conversation. Lady Gaga has pink Oreos.
Yep. The biscuits are pink.
I need to see this.
The biscuits
I'm looking
are pink.
this up. I have to see this right now.
The cream is green. I'm debating asking one of my American friends to post me some. But I don't know whether they'd survive the post, you know?
Do you know who else is surprisingly good live?
Who?
It's Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa.
Right.
I wasn't into Dua Lipa when I saw Dua Lipa live. I was there for the hype.
See, they're bright pink and green.
I was there for the hype, but she was just outstanding. It surprised me, actually. That's when I became a fan of her, actually.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm
See?
just looking at the
They're
Lady
bright
Gaga
pink.
Oreos.
And bright green.
Oh my god.
Like,
I love this.
It's so strange.
It's
but
so
I
strange.
love
her.
It's
I
so
love
strange,
her.
but I love it.
I would die for her.
She's just
Wow.
a wonderful human, and her music is like actually quite good, like better than you'd expect it to be.
Definitely.
1 second, you've gone again. Speak again.
Hello.
Right, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, he's wearing my glitchy
I
headphones.
moved in the wire.
That's your fault.
Yeah, you can buy them from, like, the UK ones are just normal Oreos, I think. Like, they sell them at the shop down the road. I'm tempted to buy some just to see if they are normal Oreos. But if they are normal Oreos, then I've wasted £2 on one packet of normal Oreos, you
But
know?
you still had Oreos. That's still a win in my books.
Yeah, Oreos are very nice. They're one of my favourite biscuits, to be fair.
And they're vegan.
They are vegan.
I love that. They were accidentally vegan.
Yeah.
I just
And
wanna,
they're good for
I
making
just wanna
brownies
add,
with as
just
well.
before we move on, just to add an extra bit of goodness, because I feel like a lot of our podcast up till now has been a lot of doom and gloom. But just to add to the Jojo Siwa story and same-sex relationships and everything, Casper just added a story just before the podcast here where same-sex relationships are now legal in Angola, or is it Angulia?
I think it's Angolia.
Do you want to talk about this one, Casper? Because you put it in. I just thought that was a nice positive story as well.
Which is in Africa, which is a massive thing because Africa as a country, it's not very safe for LGBT people, and I think everybody knows that. Like, you don't even have to be clued up on LGBT rights to know that it's not a very safe, not a very progressive country at all.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And and now it's legal to be gay.
Oh, that's great, man.
In one place, like, they can get married. Like, it's a start.
Yeah, it is one step forward.
And the rest of Africa will probably follow suit because that's the way it tends to be, like, in America.
I still think there's a long way to go, but think about it. Like, how long ago was it where same-sex marriage was legalized across America? Like, it's not. I don't think it's every state, but most states have it.
5 or 6 years ago, I think.
5 or 6 years ago. So you got to think about that. Like, in 5 or 6 years ago, pretty much in everywhere in America, it was illegal to marry someone of the same sex, right?
Yeah.
Now, 5 or 6 years later, you have Jojo Siwa, who is an incredible, massive personality, coming out as non-straight. I think, like, within the next 5 or 6 years, these countries that still have very backwards views on same-sex marriage and everything will start to become a lot more accepting. If somewhere in Africa is, like, doing this, I think a lot of places are going to start doing this. Like, I still have worries about some countries, but, you know, I hope so.
We'll see. And I hope the future's bright in that aspect, because I really
believe
do like...
it is. I believe it will be.
I like how neutral everything is right now. And I say that in a way of, like, things are starting to be less significant. Yeah. In a way, but also more significant. So it's more significant to the person, but also in that, like, to be fair, if I came out now, there's some people I haven't, like, come out to properly. Do you know what I mean? Even now, and it's mad, and I guess, like, it's online, but I doubt they'd see it. But, like, I think no one would care. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's... I love that, though, and that's what I want to thrive. That's what I thrive off, is seeing things normalized. I think is what I mean.
Yeah, it's so important. Yeah,
like, it is. Yeah, and it is normalized now. Like, Jojo Siwa can come out, and it's not really a big thing. Like, obviously, we've spoken about it, and there have been news articles about it. Yeah. But it's not a big, like, to do. It's not like, wow, another gay celebrity. It's more like,
and it's
good for her. I'm glad,
well.
she's living her life.
And everything about it has been positive. I've not seen a negative article at all.
Other than the articles about her getting doxxed, but that's not a negative about her. That's just about people being. There on that note, though, there was a a speculation that it was the media who swatted her, because they wanted their photos. They wanted photos of her because, like, obviously she came out and then she was in her house for the next 24 hours, and the media can't have that. They need updated photos in order to go with their news story about her being out. So the speculation is that they swatted her because apparently, pretty much because the police had to evacuate her out of the house because it's just procedure, and so they had to get her out of the house. And as soon as she got out of the house, paparazzi just swarmed her immediately. So I think it was a ploy, which is really fucked.
And this is why we can't have nice things.
But hey, we do have a nice thing. We have a lovely, positive role model for young women and young LGBT people out there. And I think overall the story's been good.
And young men as well, I think. The fact that she is, like, in a world of Cardi B's, I think some I feel like it's I don't think it's gender exclusive. I don't think that just because she's a female coming out as non-straight that it isn't still like I think young men as well, especially, like, I think they're forgotten about a lot of the time. As much as, like, sort of the whole patriarchy and, like, men first, I think a lot of the times, especially with the LGBT community, I think, like, if you think about the fact that, like lesbian sex is, like, so fetishized, to such a mad extent. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of almost expected of women sometimes, I think. Do you know what I mean? Whereas
I get what you mean.
I think this whole toxic masculinity thing is still very present.
I believe it's definitely perpetuated, and I will add to the point I was making earlier, is if you are hating men so much that you let your young male son know that you hate you, like, he's not going to understand, no matter how you tell him, he's not going to understand that you saying you hate men doesn't mean that you hate him specifically. Like, as a man in the world today, I can hear a woman say, "Oh, I hate men," and I can be like, "Yeah, same," because I get that. I completely relate to that. But as a young boy who got told that by my by my mother and by women around me, I didn't understand that, and I wouldn't have understood that. And there's no way you can convince me that a young boy or a young teenager is gonna get that. Even if you explain it to him. So
I think the only way I felt. So I had a conversation with my sister a while ago because I was sort of giving her the whole like. She didn't say much. To be fair, she's not really explored that side of herself from what I've heard. But like she was saying how. No, sorry. I was saying how I would rather her have a girlfriend, in all honesty. I feel like I'd feel a lot safer if she had a girlfriend. I know that's fucked. But part of me still has that mentality I've grown up with like protecting young girls, and I'm still giving her I find myself giving her the chats of like be careful around men. If a man that's older than you comes up to you and he thinks you're great, like you're still like do you know what I mean? Like giving her those things. But I feel like I can't believe that we still have to, but I can at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I can understand the concern.
Yeah.
And I think the concern is righteous and the concern is good, because no matter what you do, there will always be some people out there who do want to take advantage of young people, and that will always be the case. So you are definitely right to warn. But I also do think on the other side of things, we should be raising our younger men to not be ashamed of, having masculine traits or whatever, but also to turn those masculine traits into something good rather than something which is just quite frankly evil. Honestly, that's the only way I can put it, is toxic masculinity as well as toxic femininity, to be fair. But obviously toxic masculinity is a lot more prevalent in a lot of situations. Is just evil. It's just an evil thing. It damages you, it damages the people around you, and it damages the relationships you have. And it's just.
But you know what? I'm so grateful that actually, despite I completely agree with what you're saying, entirely about teaching the boys. But to be fair, I'm so grateful that I've never had to say anything like that to my brothers. They've got it. Like even the younger ones, like I know for a fact that even as young as they are, they understand consent. They understand when people are uncomfortable. Like one of them has autism, and he's meant to not understand body language, but he can still understand when someone doesn't want him to be close to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is a failing. Do you know what I mean? It is a failing if someone can't grasp concept, because it is so simple for consent. Like little things like with my nephew, like we push the whole consent thing where it's like, do you want a hug? Do you want to give your nanny a kiss before you go? Do you know what I mean? Like stuff like that, giving them the opportunity to say no. And when he realized he could say no, he said no, 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 and then gradually was like, yeah, you know what? I do want to cuddle. Yes, you know what? I'm gonna have a high five today. Do you know what I mean? And it's by teaching them that they are entitled to consent. And I feel like a lot of the time it might be missed. I think a lot of consent is don't attack other people, but I think a lot of need to push the idea that this is when people are attacking you, because you might not realize it. A lot of the situation, like obviously the scenario I explained to you earlier, right, which obviously I'll fill you in on after, Casper, where it's a hindsight thing. I think even to this day, there's certain times where things will flag up and I won't realize for like months. Do you know what I mean? I think that's
I'm the same.
Yeah.
Especially with friends. Like I've got some friends that have been really, really bad for me in the past. And
I think I know.
And it's taken me leaving that situation, leaving Manchester, and being further away.
Yeah.
to realise how bad for me they were and how little they care because they've not spoken to me since September. Like, the friends who have kept in touch with me and, like, kept a conversation going, even though I don't talk to my friends every day. I've never been that sort of person. I probably never will. They've still made an effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, like I've definitely had the people that have stuck with me since I've moved away, and it really shows you who is there for you and who isn't. And I think
and I find who believes in you as well, because I've just gone back to uni, doing something that nobody really knew that I enjoyed until I said, "Oh, I'm going to a film school." Everyone was like, "Oh, what the fuck? Why are you doing that? Like, you've never shown any interest in that." Like I've got a handful of friends, who still believe in me, even though I hadn't ever shown much interest publicly in that. Like it's the ones that say, well done, or you're doing really well, that actually matter.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of people showing up like that over the years. Like, what for me, it was like back in Shrewsbury, like when I was growing up, and like 17, 18, 19, you know, that kind of era where you're legally allowed to drink now, so all you do is get drunk all the time. And I met a lot of people. I met so many people during that time that I called my friends. And when I actually stopped drinking and moved away and sorted myself out and got into a healthy place, only one of those people I still talk to. And this is out of like a solid group, 10, 15 people that I would frequently see. Only one of them is actually a friend. And I love that person, and I think I wish him well, and I think he's great, and I still talk to him, and it's fantastic.
I don't think we should demonise those friends, though, because I've become sort of very aware of trying to notice when people are just area friends. You do have those people where if you went back, they'd probably hang out with you, you'd have a good time. But I think it is a lot of effort, and I think a lot of the time, if someone moved away from my area, it'd take a lot. They'd have to be real close to me for me to be able to like stretch that. Do you know what I mean? When everyone's struggling so much. Anyway, I feel like those people who don't keep in touch. Yes, so if there's certain circumstances where that is just stupid. If you were stupidly close and all of a sudden they cut you off, or if they like were lying to you about why they weren't keeping in touch. If they're honest with you and say, "Listen, man, like I'm down to hang out anytime you want, but I just don't have the time to be maintaining relationships," especially because like internet relationships can be quite straining. They are a lot of work. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the time.
Yeah. And I think like it does take a lot of energy to maintain a friendship like that. So I think you're right there. Like the two closest friends I've had for as long as I've had them, I've had because a lot of energy was put into that friendship, and I wouldn't want to lose that for the world.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Right,
and on that note, I think that's a nice point to end it on.
I think we've actually had like a really nice, positive podcast.
Friends are lovely.
Friends are lovely. People are lovely. Jojo Siwa is lovely, and I wish her the best in the coming year.
And my computer is shit because it's turned itself off for no reason.
I'm gonna come help you sort that out.
I don't know whether just taking it apart and putting it all back together again might be a good idea, but I don't know.
It might be a power issue. I will look at it now. But yes, thank you, Millie, for joining us. Thank you, Casper, for joining us as well. And thank you, stream. I did see someone said hello in my stream. I'm sorry I couldn't say hi back, but we
James Bennett's James has just come on, my mate from back in ends. James, thank you for coming on to support me, but we're ending it now.
Yeah,
thank you guys.
It's the same in my stream. Like someone said hi, and I saw it. And I was like, I can't say hi because someone else is talking, and I don't want to interrupt the podcast. But thank you for chatting. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.
Peace.